Okay, so everyone's been comparing Magicraft to Hades and the Binding of Isaac. Honestly, I think it carves out its own insane niche. This is Magicraft, an action roguelike that fully released last November after a year in early access, and it's basically a spellcrafting sandbox. You're building unimaginable spell effects with ultra-high degrees of freedom. It's sitting at an overwhelming 92% positive on Steam with over 500,000 owners, and you can grab it for around 16 bucks. The hook here isn't just dodging bullets, it's about chaining together spells in ways the developers probably didn't even imagine. You want to feel like a wizarding genius? This is where you do it, and it feels pretty damn good. Here's the deal with Magicraft. Its core mechanic is a top-down bullet hell roguelike, yeah, but the real magic, no pun intended, is in the spell crafting. You don't just pick up static upgrades like in Isaac. Instead, you're constantly finding elemental spells, projectile spells, area of effect spells, and then you slot them into your wand. But it's not just put spell A here. You get these extra slots, and that's where the chaos, the genius, happens. You can take a basic fireball, add a bounce modifier, then a chain lightning modifier, and suddenly you're shooting fireballs that bounce off walls and arc lightning to 3 other enemies. Or maybe you combine a homing spell with a drill spell, and your projectiles are now tunneling through enemies and following them around the room. It's like Noita's deep spell system, but more streamlined, bolted onto that addictive Isaac-style twin-stick shooter gameplay. You're constantly experimenting, and even when you don't know what the hell you're doing, you somehow end up with an absurd, screen-clearing combination. It's incredibly satisfying, making every run feel fresh because you're always trying to break the game with a new combo. Before I continue, if you're enjoying this no-fluff format, a subscribe really helps the channel grow. Takes 1 second. Alright, let's get back in. Now, this is where it clicks and you understand why people are sinking hours into this. That insane spell variety feeds directly into replayability. You've got countless spells and wands, and honestly, every run does feel like a new game. You unlock new roguelite mechanics, new starting spells, new modifiers as you progress, which just expands the pool of potential broken builds even further. It keeps that just one more run feeling going strong, like Hades. But instead of unlocking new booms, you're unlocking entirely new ways to obliterate enemies. It's not just theoretical either. Players are averaging nearly 52 hours in this thing, which is wild for a roguelike. The bullet hell part of the game, dodging a million projectiles, becomes genuinely fun because your own spell creations are so over the top, often filling the screen with your own projectiles. You become the bullet hell. It's pretty amazing. Even when you've beaten it on the highest difficulty, you're still chasing that next wild combo. Now, it's not all rainbows and screen-filling explosions. While it's overwhelmingly positive, there are a few things to keep in mind. The main complaint you'll hear is about the difficulty curve. Players find it gets pretty easy once you've unlocked powerful roguelite upgrades, even on the highest difficulty. Plus, some later areas are gated behind those higher difficulty settings, which feels a bit restrictive. The spell pool allows for consistent winning strategies, which some find makes it too easy. Specific input bugs had been reported by Linux Mint users, like spells not dragging. And while one early player called it a dumbed-down Isaac, that's definitely a minority opinion, given the average 50+ hours playtime. So, should you actually play Magicraft? Look, if you're a fan of roguelikes like Hades, The Binding of Isaac, or the spell-mixing chaos of Noita, then yeah, absolutely. If you love discovering busted builds and feeling like a genius with absurd spell combinations, this is for you. It's not for you if you demand punishing difficulty all the way through, or if you're a Linux Mint user without patience for tinkering. But honestly, for its price and the addictive playtime it offers, Magicraft is an easy recommendation. If this helped you out, drop a like and subscribe. See you in the next one,